and would like to give you safety information. We ask that you pay close attention to the safety demonstrations.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't
10% of global GDP is contributed by tourism. This is how this flight we have done makes a lot of meaning for you, our economy.
I've been flying for almost 40 years and I've flown so many different types of aircraft. The experience really, I'm feeling so happy because we are back to the air and we are really looking forward to expand and perform very nicely and on time.
Enough with the goofing. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is one of those videos where you just sit and talk to the camera. Yeah, I know I've missed you guys. You guys have missed me. I did bump into someone the other day, and she told me that I should put out more and more videos. And well, I do apologize for not being able to give you guys as much content as I should be doing. But well, hopefully, given that we are entering into the festive season, you guys can pray that I get welcomed to cover experiences. You can see I'm in my Undaba shirt. It's all about Uganda. Right to my right, there is a flag. It's just one of those videos that you do when you're happy about something that, especially something about a country that you come from. So on Wednesday this week, I got to fly on the inaugural, the maiden flight for Uganda Airlines to Kilimanjaro. So Uganda Airlines has it had kind of faded out, or could I say it collapsed a couple of years back, and the government has been talking about revamping it, reviving it for quite a number of years. So this year that thought came to life. So the airline began its first flight on I think in August this year. And they've been flying to 6 destinations, including Sheebah in South Sudan, Nairobi in Kenya, Dar es Salaam, Bujumbura in Burundi, and just this week on Monday they launched a flight to Mombasa, and on Wednesday they launched another one to Kilimanjaro, which I was fortunate enough to be on. So I did put up a blog on I think the day after the flight. That was, I think it was Thursday the 14th. If you do follow my blog, I'll just put the link up here. You can get to read that story about my experience. My blog is Ugandan Tourist. That's UgandanTourist.com, UgandanTourist.com. I do share quite a lot there, my thoughts, my experiences. So yeah, just please make sure to check that out. Yeah, so on the flight we had quite a number of dignitaries. We had the Minister of Tourism, we had the Deputy Minister of Works. We did have the chairman to the board of the Uganda Airlines. We had the acting CEO of Uganda Airlines. And we were received by the Tanzanian team quite well. It was a fascinating experience watching the gun, not the gun salute, watching the water salute from on board through the windows. And it's one of those scenic flights where you definitely, of course, see incredible views of Lake Victoria, but you also see some nice, beautiful plains as you prepare to descend at Kilimanjaro. It was a bummer that we didn't get to see the Great Mountain, but we did have quite a number of stunning views throughout the flight. It was also unfortunate that I didn't get to eat the Rolex while on board. It wasn't served on this particular flight, but I had seen on previous flights that people were served the Rolex. But we did get breakfast and we did get served lunch. My highlight definitely was the fact that there were Ugandan flavors all throughout. So you had Jessa yogurt, you had Wava water, of course specifically packaged for Uganda Airlines. I had a fresh banana, which was a little bit unripe, but that can pass. And I like the fact that they served Ugandan coffee. I personally believe, I of all people believe that Uganda has one of the best varieties of coffee tones on the planet. And I'm quite cross each time I find Nescafe and those foreign brands presented, especially at big Ugandan events or for the case of like the launch of an airline. I would be very unhappy to see us presenting coffee of a different country when we have one of the best, some of the best coffee tones on the planet. Actually, there is a yeah, so just my personal thoughts about after having flown the airline. Starters, I like the fact that we had just a Ugandan flavor on board, from the music to the food, to the people that serve you. They give you this nice Ugandan warm, call it convivial vibe, of how they welcome you the Ugandan way, the Ugandan smiles, which to me was quite sad that I didn't have my camera on me. I just had my phone. Quite bad of me, quite stupid of me not to carry my camera, which I think for starters we are headed to the right way. I did enjoy flipping through Ngali magazine. Yeah, of course I do have a copy of that. I got that, I think you can see, I got that a couple of weeks back. And the good news is that I am meant to have one of my stories run in the next issue. Oh, my hair is not combed. Wow. Anyway, so just some personal thoughts. I have had exchanges with a number of people, with a couple of airline staff. But I've also talked to different stakeholders in the tourism sector about what they think about the airline. And for most, it is positive news about the airline. Of course, there are particular recommendations that quite a number of them have regarding to how best to make this thing happen. Actually, when we landed in Entebbe, I visited I visited Anthony Njoroge, who is a country manager for Aerolink, one of the domestic airlines in the country that flies to the different national parks. And he shared some thoughts which I kind of do resonate with me as well. So I think for starters, it would make sense for us to focus first on the regional flights, the shorter routes, and maybe developing ways in which to work with different domestic airlines as well, to maybe do some code share arrangement on some of the flights within Uganda. Perhaps that would reduce the cost of flying to the different points in the country, especially for the benefit of tourism and trade. I think what Uganda Airlines could actually do is maybe work with domestic airlines like Eagle Air, Aerolink, Kampala Executive Aviation, on some form of code share arrangement where client lands in Entebbe, then they have the capacity at the point of booking the flight to book extensions to maybe a national park or maybe one of the upcountry airstrips. This can be sold as a bundle, so if someone goes to the platform, they can see that this is a discounted flight for maybe someone who wants to see the gorillas, travel with Uganda Airlines, but also see the gorillas. Of course, knowing that the big aircrafts might not be able to land at the upcountry airstrips, they might still be able to find a way to partner with some of these domestic airlines to ensure that fly safaris are simplified, if I could say. The other thing I would think is the routes like Juba, Juba, South Sudan, which I believe if you combined that with, if you included a stopover in a town like Gulu, I'll tell you that Gulu has an airport or airstrip, upcountry airfield in that case, and it's, I believe, currently used as a military airport, but it's pretty much in a good state. It just needs a bit of revamping, maybe just bring in immigration, work on the runways, extend them if needed. But there are flights that are going out of Gulu to Juba and back every day. So that could be a potential route where you get people from Entebbe, drop them in Gulu, and then pick up passengers, usually business traders from Gulu, for onward transfer to Juba, and then return them, bring them back in the evening or something like that. I think in terms of tourism, that breaks the journey between Kampala, or rather Entebbe, and Kidepo Valley National Park for people that would be driving over 10 hours. If you landed in Gulu and you just drive a couple of hours to Kidepo, and then you can still land in Gulu and just drive a couple of hours to Marshall Falls National Park, I think that would be a good boost to the tourism sector as well. The other thing I think would be the fact that the airline has in the past been known for punctuality, and the fact that our airports, that our pilots were in the past known to be one of the best pilots on the continent. I think that's something we should boast more about. I'll tell you the truth, no bias in this. On this particular flight to Kilimanjaro, yes, it did leave late because we had government officials on board, and it was a launch flight. It wasn't a commercial flight, so we couldn't set off at the right time, given the many ceremonies that had to happen on the day. But reading reviews from people that have flown the airline from when it was relaunched in August, people will tell you it sets off on time and arrives either on time or even earlier than anticipated, which is good for a kind of reputation. I believe that should be maintained, and also the flexibility of the team has been something that's come out quite a lot. Yeah, before we think about expanding to the longer routes, of course the CEO said they plan to bring in the bigger aircrafts later on, I think at the end of next year. And then maybe plan to do routes to Europe, Asia, or maybe North America. I think our focus should be first on developing the regional routes, of course making sense of them. A route like Kilimanjaro, for example, could be combined with an Entebbe Kigali Kilimanjaro, maybe Entebbe Mombasa Kilimanjaro. Of course, depending on whether the traffic is there. If the traffic is there for the direct non-stop flights, then go for it. If it is not there, then you would make it could make viable business sense for you to maybe add a stopover and just combine some of those routes. Yeah, so pretty much that's it for now. I did enjoy my flight. I did love the Ugandan music on board. I loved the music. I enjoyed reading the magazine. Actually, the flight we took in the morning to Kilimanjaro had the co-pilot was a female, which was quite special, and it took us an hour and 15 minutes, so both ways. So the flight didn't take longer than we had been told, which I think it is good for the airline. It's good reputation for the airline. So for me, I would wish the team the success. And I will confidently recommend that you choose Uganda Airlines for your next flight. We do have some of the newest. The Bombardier C, I think forgetting the model. I think it's CJ 900 or something. Yeah, but there are some of the newest. I think it's probably one of the newest models on the continent of that type of plane. You don't get that experience anywhere else. You get that from Uganda. The bird we flew was actually one of the newest. Uganda has 4 of those at the moment, and we fortunately flew the newest. Yeah, so for now I will be signing out. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and what else do? We share as well. I do recommend that you reach out in the comment section below. If you do have any comments, I did leave a link to the blog as well. The blog does have the schedule that the flight does have the flight schedules, and it also has different contacts for different offices. So you feel free to read the blog and also get access to some of the contacts for the different offices in the different countries for the airline. Yeah, so for now I'll sign out and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.
Okay, 3